Come on, the guy done nothing in the sport. He got nothing in the sport. 13 fights he's had in the company. That's it. And 3 against named opponents. 3 against named. He had a fight against me coming off of. I was off the yacht. I was doing bad things on a yacht, yeah? I don't even want to. I was partying heavily. And I was up to my eyeballs in court cases and all of this. I hadn't fought in 2 years. I was worth 200 million. I come back and fight this fucking guy. I done 4 rounds with him. I had a broken toe. I'm sure you've seen the Netflix show where I broke my fucking foot 3 weeks before the bout. This guy's nothing. Then where is he now also? He's gone. So I don't rate him at all. I don't rate him at all. No courage. The man has no courage. The man has succumbed to his pain, and it is a damn shame. I have nothing to say to him. Nothing to say about him. I don't rate him.
So that means he's gonna move down. Because if you think someone shouldn't be in the spot that they're at, you can
never fought, missed weight, never fought above weight divisions. 3 fights, no stoppages, no knockouts. Come on, man. How many more knockouts has he got? Fucking 3 or 4. You must be mad. You must be mad if I'm gonna waste my fucking time watching this shit.
Never lost though. He's never lost.
His first half of his work was fighting in his father's shows in the middle of nowhere in wherever they're from, right? He's like 12-0. The opponent he's fighting is 0-0. 0-0. This isn't boxing.
Okay.
I don't rate him. I do not rate him. Should be me, my body of work. It's only me.
Jon Jones.
Listen, Jon looks very soft there. I don't know about you, man. That's not number. Not physicality is not number 1 there anyway. So look, where is he now? Where is he now? It's who's left, baby. You get me? It's the pain game. Who can outlast? Who can stay longest? And here I am still. None of these boys, including Jon here, with his history, is not on my level. He's got 8 knockouts. I've got 19. You look at my body of work and it's straight to the fire. There's no tuning up. I'd beat George. I'd beat Jon. You get me? I'd find ways to beat Jon. Jon can't box. Jon can't box.
Jon's a big guy.
Jon can't box. Jon can stomp the knee.
So you would want to fight Jones. Would you want to fight Silva?
I was rumoured to fight Silva, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was discussions ongoing. Maybe it would have been a catch between 170, 185. In this day and age, or any day and age, I'd farewell. I'm bringing that Mac Daddy, baby. I'm home. The Mac is back. Put the Mac in there, baby.
Now, where do you put yourself?
Over a hand. Over a hand. Number 1.
Really?
Really.
Over
Mama, listen. See this shit? You're gonna see. You're gonna fucking see. The game ain't done yet. Well, Anderson, 2.
Yeah, so give me
Jon, 3.
Okay.
Demetrius, 4. Shevchenko, 5. Nunes, 6. Makachev, 7. Cormier, 8. Khabib, 9. And Volkanovski, where's he still in? He's gone now. Recency bias gone. He's above Khabib. He is above Khabib. Finishes, body of work, both divisions. For sure he is.
But look, many of
still in it, still at it.
Body
but they're all, there's a little bit of people are impressionable. Talking about, like, they're trying to they're taunting him to get out of it. There's a lot left in that boy. There's a lot left in that boy. And he should recognise that and keep going. I have him above both his teammates there in Cormier and thing.
Okay, so Islam will stay where he is.
Find it, and you just seem to will it, you know? Is it as easy as that? Or how, like, I know you just kind of described it, but how did you get that confidence back to walk in there and face a guy like Max Holloway on Saturday?
Man, I don't know. It's above, brother. It's divine. It's not me. It's above. That's how I feel with it. I could question my own self with that also, but I have it. I'm confident, and I'm gonna showcase it. I love this arena. I love fight night, fight week, and God willing, I'm back here next week and the week after. How many weeks is in a year? 54. There you go. You know, I could fight every week if it's a go. You know, before the injury, I had maybe 3 within the year. People don't recall that. And yeah, now there you go. We plan on getting busy here.
Can we get back to that? Or will even the business, will the fight business allow it when you almost get too big to fight that frequently, right? Or can we get back to that level of activity?
I wish for it. I wish for it. So if I'm the man in the arena, right? I'm the one that's making the walk. So if I'm the one who's pushing for it and campaigning for it, I'm sure that is the case. Now, I've said my piece with the Ultimate Fighting Championship and their staging of my bouts. and they've said their piece, and you know it's kind of fallen on. It's
just another fight. It's just another fight for me. You know, it's big. Every time there's a Conor McGregor fight, it's big. We're in Las Vegas. We're fight capital. You know, international fight week, even more crazy. The heat is on. The heat is going to be even more on come Saturday night.
Does it get your blood pumping, the buzz that Conor brings to this sport now that you're matched up against him one again? Does any side of that entertain you and get you fired up knowing that it's going to be the biggest story in sports this week?
Oh, for sure. I'm excited. You know, we got other big events going on. You know, you got the World Cup going on, and still people are talking about Holloway versus McGregor too. So at the end of the day, it's a great position to be.
If Conor comes in shape, focused, you know, he's a dangerous man. If anybody can come back after 5 years and put it all together and start winning against the best guys, it's Conor. You know, he's a special individual. Even though he's a horrible person and I don't like him, I got to give props where it's due. He has some God-given gifts. Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. You know, me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. You know, Conor, he's back. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. You know, he has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs, just like I have, but he always gets back on his feet, which is a huge example to so many out there. So,
did we ever think that McGregor was coming back?
He always threatened coming back, didn't he? But I think that like there's been so many stop-starts with McGregor that
6 years.
Yeah, no one knows where we're up to. But you know what? I watched a couple of his interviews recently. He seems in a really good place. I know it's only an interview, but he does seem in a good place. When McGregor's on form, he's absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. He's beat Max Holloway before. Max Holloway, in my opinion, really, really good fighter. One of the best ever. Didn't look great in his last fight. Did not look great against Charles Oliveira at all. He looked like he kind of like was questioning whether he wanted to be there or not at points. But he was fighting a grappler, so you know when it's all striking, which it probably will be. Sometimes when you're fighting regular, that helps as well. Sometimes it works the other way. It just depends where they're at. But like I say, I heard a couple of McGregor interviews. I was very impressed with the way what he was talking about and how calm he seemed and how focused he seemed. I know it's just an interview; it doesn't really mean anything, but he's up against it. Against an active guy like Max Holloway, but I think the thing is that power doesn't leave. Like he needs one shot and it can be over. So I'm more favouring towards a McGregor win, to be honest.
I can tell, but how does Holloway win this fight?
Holloway wins by just out-voluming him, being at the right spots at the right time. Very tall, lanky guy, using good footwork, using good timing. His timing is definitely going to be better because he's been fighting way more regular than McGregor. I think that there's definitely a possibility of Max Holloway picking him off and moving, but I would favour more
Conor
towards
McGregor versus Max Holloway 2 isn't just another UFC main event, it's a legend trying to prove he still belongs at the top, going head-to-head with a fighter who's been battle-tested time and time again. Most experts are leaning toward Holloway, pointing to his conditioning, sharpness, and current form as the deciding edge. Still, plenty of others aren't ready to bet against that left hand of McGregor's, believing one clean shot could change everything. So who's picking who? Let's break down the predictions.
I mean, just judging by ring rust from Conor McGregor's side, I think Max Holloway, you know, he's been very active. It is a welterweight fight, I believe, right?
It is, yeah.
I mean, that's a bit crazy because obviously Max Holloway, I think, looks good at 155. So it'll be weird for him adjusting to a bit of a bigger, you know, obviously McGregor looks massive these days. So having to adjust that new weight class might play a factor, you know, but I think because of the activity of Holloway, I've got to give it to Holloway.
The kid in me wants to see Conor do it, you know. Obviously a big Conor fan. I think most of the kids from my generation grew up watching him and were inspired by him, and I think a small part of us will always believe that he's still capable of doing it. You know, I'm a big Max Holloway fan too, but honestly, I think it's an interesting matchup, especially it happening at 40 or at 70 is the most intriguing part. Like Max has been around for a long time. He's had so many fights. You know, I know Conor's older than him, but I think in terms of fight time, Max has probably taken more strikes and has had more fights. And I think in his last couple of fights, we've seen a little bit of the mystique of the chin. It has not.
And then I bitch about it and you say, well, it didn't land. Yeah, no shit. Because I blocked it. The problem is I'm still sitting on my ass, you dumbass. Like, that's the problem. But I remember him saying it didn't land. What? Okay, you're right. It didn't. It's still illegal to throw to the fucking head when I'm sitting on my butt. So, anyways, that's me going off my rant. But
no, and I appreciate that perspective. I think people out there will really appreciate you sharing that. And I understand as well, like with Tom Aspinall stepping into this rematch with Cyril Gahn. You know, like you're talking about it fucking with your head. Like this guy just basically couldn't drive his kids around for like 8 months because his eye's so fucked. You're gonna go in there and be like, hey man, this is kind of important. Like, please assure me you're gonna do something about this. Just quickly before we get
you're gonna pay attention to it at least.
Yeah. Before we get into the big card, one more thing. I saw Jamal Hill is moving up to heavyweight. You obviously just had a blast out performance at heavyweight. When you see people like Jamal Hill moving up to heavyweight, you're always looking forward to having before a fight.
You know, Sean Strickland is pretty funny. We certainly get to see a good side of him in those fighter meetings, and we get to talk technically, but I always enjoy having a few minutes with Sean. You know, Derek Lewis, I think, actually, believe it or not, is lightened up over the years. So our last fighter meeting with him was particularly funny. You know, they all can go in a number of different directions. In terms of the other part of that question, I'm thankful that not too many fighters sort of get annoyed. I think oftentimes if a fighter's going to bring up a past call or something they take issue with, they won't use the fighter meeting as the setting in which they want to sort of challenge you on that. They might message you on Instagram. But thankfully, not too many fighters have gotten annoyed. We try to keep it short and sweet and on to the next. But yeah, I mean, Strickland is amusing. Yeah, I'm trying to draw on a couple of different.
Yeah, like you just said, the blackout walkout was a surprise, and I actually only found out. I only asked Conor the other day. I was like, "Did you know about that?" And he didn't know either. So I remember as we're leaving the locker room and the cameras were there, and I kind of recognized that that's what they do for a blackout walkout. You know, they meet you at the locker room. So you knew something was up, but and then the crowd and everything, it was an incredible reception, and we got off, as you can see, to a great start. Well, I think that was it Max's fifth or sixth?
Sixth fight, yeah.
It was a sixth fight in the UFC. Yeah, yeah. That's why I kind of laugh at the commentaries, you know, Conor was fighting a boy. I was like, well, he had a lot more UFC fights than Conor did. Only a couple of years in the difference. But yeah, no, there was a fair bit to watch from him, to be honest. It was nice to go against somebody that we had no real worry about, you know, a deep double leg or anything. He's going to stay on his feet.
While a lot of people see McGregor's long break as a clear disadvantage, Schaub actually thinks it could work in his favor. His reasoning is that Holloway has been remarkably consistent throughout his UFC career, sticking with pretty much the same approach since day one. That predictability, Schaub argues, means McGregor won't have to worry about any late surprises or new wrinkles from his opponent. He knows exactly what he's walking into, the same Holloway he's always been, a tough, durable striker who thrives on trading in the pocket.
Question. Last time Conor came back against Dustin Poirier, he took a year and a half off and didn't even know about calf kicks and lost because of it. This time he's been off for 5 years. Are there any developments in the game that he's missed out on that would be relevant in the fight? No, especially when it comes to Max Holloway, right? Like Max is cut from kind of the same cloth where you know exactly what you're going to get with Max. You know, at Max's age, he's not throwing any wrinkles. He's not doing anything special. Like we know what you're signing up for when you fight Max Holloway. So I think that's actually a benefit to Conor being out of the game so long is you know exactly who you're getting in Max Holloway. And that's a good thing. If you're a Conor fan, that's a good thing. There's going to be no surprises. It's not like he's fighting fucking Hoofy or something like that. Where you're like, dude, I don't know what the hell he's going to do. You're Max Holloway. You know what you're getting? Great boxing, great chin, good movement, great footwork. Probably not going to the ground, right?
Schaub also believes that a win here wouldn't leave Holloway short on options. If anything, it's the opposite problem. A highlight-worthy win over McGregor would undoubtedly boost his profile even further, but where the UFC takes him next isn't so obvious. It could mean another crack at the lightweight title, a fight against one of the division's rising contenders. or even another blockbuster showcase fight. Schaub's point is basically this: there's no shortage of paths forward for Holloway, just no single obvious one to point to.
Choose from.
Next, if he beats Conor, dominant fashion, Max bounces back from losses very well and can dog it out like he did with Yair if he needs to. Yeah, Max is in a weird spot, right? Because let's say he highlight reel knocks out Conor. He's this huge name. Is Justin going, all right, that's the fight that'll get me up and I'll put my belt on the line. We can do that rematch. Does that do it? Or, where Max is at in his career, does he fancy himself a 170? I don't think so. Does he challenge Islam? That'd be a nightmare for him. Does the UFC use him as a launching board for these guys coming up, like Yair Rodriguez at 55, Dio Lopez at 55? Do they do Max versus Patty if Patty gets a big win? What do they do? The point is, there's a lot of options for both gentlemen if they win.
As for the fight itself, Tom Aspinall believes the real question isn't who McGregor's facing, but how he chooses to approach it. McGregor leaned on his wrestling in their first meeting, but Aspinall doubts he'll go back to that well as his main strategy after such a long time away from the sport, especially knowing that grinding out a 5-round grappling battle can drain a fighter fast. Instead, Aspinall expects McGregor to lean on the striking that made him a global star in the first place, hunting for that one finishing left hand he's always been known for.
McGregor, Max Holloway's shown some, mate, he's striking, like his striking IQ is so good. Doesn't get hit much. But then in the first fight, McGregor grappled him. He might grapple him again. Like that. I know how many years ago was that? It's probably like 10 years ago, weren't it?
Would you grapple someone though if you've had that amount of time off? Is that probably an easy? Let's just for us fans, how do you sort of look at something like that? You've had 6 years out.
Yeah.
Your gas tank. When you're coming to a fight? Is there a difference in if he's going full strike and he's going to be knackered after a few rounds and this is a 5-round fight? Would grappling help him, or grappling's just as exhausting, right?
Grappling's probably more exhausting. It just depends though, because if McGregor's looking for a knockout, that's exhausting as well. So I'm hoping McGregor's going to be like in full flow, looking for that left hand. Mate, when he's on form, like his fight with Eddie Alvarez, in my opinion, was his best performance ever. Mate, absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. How does he look after, 6 years off? That's going to be the interesting factor, but me, like everybody else, I'm excited to see.
Aspinall also pushed back on the idea that Holloway should be judged too harshly off his loss to Ilia Topuria. In his view, both fighters have evolved considerably over the years, shaped by countless training camps and hard-fought bouts. He acknowledges Holloway is entering the twilight of his career, but points to his dominant win over Justin Gaethje as proof he can still deliver when it matters. Above all, Aspinall expects this to be an exciting fight, driven by the long-awaited return of McGregor and Holloway's proven history of putting on a show.